You may have a great CV and be perfect for the job, but you won't get anywhere unless you have a great cover letter. Tom O'Neill joins me now with tips on how to rustle up a winning one. Tom, welcome to the show. First question, how important is that cover letter?
Cover letters are absolutely vital.
Really?
It's
the opening, really, for somebody.
That's exactly right. It's the frame. It puts your whole application in a way that can be easily communicated and easily in a way that really excites the employer early on to then delve into your CV in real depth with a real interest.
So tailoring it, obviously, for the job that you're applying for is the most important thing? 100%.
We, at cv.co.nz, we talk about mirroring, which is basically where you have the job advertisement, and the job says you get paid to do this, and, you know, this is what the title is and who we are. But then it says we're seeking someone with these skills and these abilities.
Right.
You concentrate on those and resell those through your CV and your cover letter.
Right.
So when the person reads it, they're reading about a solution to their problem, not just I want a job as a sales rep. They're reading about specific examples and focus on what they want.
Do you need to be clear and concise?
Oh, 100%. Nothing longer than 1 page.
Right.
I've received cover letters 3, 4, 5 pages in my time, and you just think, oh, man, just so verbose. So you want it clear, concise, punchy, bullet points, all that sort of good stuff.
You don't want to... And have you found in the past with some of those cover letters, people read the cover letter and they don't bother reading the CV because they're sold straight away on the... on the cover letter?
Absolutely. I've got a colleague of mine who I've worked with in the city, and she would read the cover letter first before she read the CV, and as a lot of people do. But on occasion, if she really felt that connection and really felt the person had researched the organisation and provided back that response that she was after, boom, straight in for an interview.
I want to talk about, would you put a photo on a cover letter or no?
Not necessarily on a cover letter, more on a CV.
On a CV, yeah.
Yeah, and again, with photos, you want it professional, yet friendly.
OK, so when you're putting one together, how big should it be, and should it be framed and, you know, in terms of presentation? Generally
speaking, same font, etc. as your CV, so you've got a lot of nice consistency running through. Doesn't necessarily need a frame, just a standard business letter. And the thing that frustrates me is, you know, in recruitment and HR is people have lost the skill to write letters, you know. They can text and write emails, but to actually write a letter with, like, a date, the person it's to, and then dear so-and-so, and then write a letter, it seems like 1 in 10 people can do that now.
Well, your computers have put things on where it has set up for letters on it as well.
Exactly, and people still don't do that, you know. So if you just write a nice letter, you're going to be in the top sort of 20% anyway.
In terms of cover letters, you talk about being specific for the job. If you're unsure, would you get advice from somebody else after you've sort of written it and put it together?
Certainly always ask family and friends, you know, what do you think? But I always believe if you're interested in the job, apply. What's the worst that can happen? The HR team's not going to come to your house and throw a brick through your window. They're just going to, you know, I mean, you'll get a no, or no response at all. That's, you know, you miss 100% of shots you don't take.
What are the no-nos when writing a cover letter?
Not longer than a page, of course. Check your spelling and grammar. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Spell check's a great thing, isn't it?
Man. Spell checks are great, but sometimes they give a false sense of security.
Right.
You know, you may have, you know, there's a lot of words like, and etc. that you can spell or to, T-O-O, T-W-O-T-O, you know? And again, if you're saying, and then again, if you're saying in CV, I have a really high attention to detail, but you get actual words in their wrong context and wrong grammar and spelt wrong for their context, stuffed.
Tom, let's have a look at some bullet points of what we've talked about today. Should frame the CV and provide an enticing introduction to read further. Should mirror, as you mentioned, what the employer's asking for in the advertisement. 3, express your passion for the position and industry if possible. Check spelling, NAD grammar. I love that.
Chock spelling, NAD grammar.
Chock spelling, 1 page only. So that's basically things you need to consider when putting the letter together.
Absolutely. And just one last thing is talk about your passion.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't talk about their passion. They talk about, I can do this. But if you talk about your passion for the production industry, TV, media, marine, whatever, it just really is going to start setting you apart.
Tom, some great advice as always. Thank you so much for that. Look forward to chatting with you in the future.
Real pleasure.
Brilliant. For more on cover letters, head to our website. Sarah, what's in the goodie bag?
Before I get to that, I just want to sort of acknowledge about that whole spelling thing, because I looked at a young girl's cover letter the other day, and she had written the word a lot as one word, which it isn't, in fact 2 words, and the spell check had automatically changed it to a lot, as in a lot some things for something, A-L-L-O-T,
Right.
and what it should have been is A space lot. So if you're not confident with your spelling, get someone who you know is really good at spelling to have a wee look. And
like
just,
you.
I'm good at spelling. You
You're
could get me.
check.
You could always send it in to me. But you know what I mean? Like, you just get someone you know is a good speller, like your parents or your grandparents, and get them to have a wee look before you send it in. Because if you're an employer and you see a lot like that, the wrong spelling... Anyway, sorry, I'm raving. Thanks so much, Tom.